Booyah! Tippy tie, my damies, and welcome to episode, oh my lord, 20. That's like, if we were counting these in decades, that would be two decades. 20. I seriously thought I was going to do like 3 or 4 of these and then just be like, man, fuck this shit. But here we are, episode 20. And for episode 20, gonna go a little more kung fu route. Yeah. Lady Snowblood. You know, like, these have been kind of on my radar for a while, but it wasn't until, like, I hooked up with my woman that she's like, dude, these movies are fucking sick. Like, seriously, these are some of my favorite movies. You gotta, like, check this shit out. And so I was like, you know what? Let me check this shit out on there. Put it on my list, and everything. And then I do believe it was like Christmas. And now I picked this up for her. Or maybe it was her birthday. It was Christmas or birthday. I can't remember. Remember last episode I talked about being an old man? Memory's gone, dude. It's gone. But yeah, so I picked these up for her and watched them, and I was like, yes, I could totally see where, like, Quentin Tarantino was influenced a lot by, like, these two flicks, Lady Snowblood and Lady Snowblood, Love Song of Vengeance, for his Kill Bill movies, and it's like, I think Kill Bill, excuse me, because there's only like 2 movies in the Lady Snowblood saga, and Kill Bill happens to be 2 movies and everything. I really think that, like, Kill Bill was his ode to Lady Snowblood, but with, like, some other factors in. And the Criterion Collection, it's like, I got the link for the Blu-ray. It's like 20 something bucks, for the good old Criterion Collection dealio. Came with this in here. Gonna have to get my woman a little frame or something for this neat little poster, the Lady Snowblood poster. Ooh, that's so cool. Because she's gonna have to have that up where she can be like, every once in a while look over and be like, fuck yeah, man. So it's like, yeah, I mean, okay, like, last night I'm watching Kung Fu Zombie, because I got this collection. It's called Kung Fu Zombies, but the actual movie Kung Fu Zombie, and the action is really like fast. This is not like one of those super fast paced like Jet Li, fucking Jackie Chan ones, but it's got solid fight scenes and everything else, and it's very bloody, and it's just very, like, the story is really good. It's got a classic revenge story dealio going on, and it's like hella cool. I mean, it's totally like the Japanese, like, cinema of, like, martial arts, revenge story and everything. And then you just got, like, this really pretty Japanese lady who people are like, oh, she's just some chick and everything. And then she's like, oh yeah, well, watch this. I'm going to fuck you up, and it's, like, pretty cool. It's like, I haven't watched any of the interviews yet and, like, everything else, but it'd be kind of cool to watch the interviews and, like, kind of delve more into it. I've actually been slacking like a mofo on special features on movies, which I used to be a total geek dork for them. A dork geek, geek dork. I should just do that for, like, I'll come back after watching it and I'll just do that for like 15 minutes. Geek dork. No, I'm not going to do that. I should, but I won't. I could if I want. It's mine. My video. I could do what I want, but I won't do that because that would be fucking ridiculous and it'd be a waste of both of our times. So I won't do that. But Yeah, this is really cool, and it's like watching movies like this make me like want to get like other movies that are real classics. I'm not just talking about like Seven Samurai and everything, but like real cult movies that a lot of my pals talk about that should be in my collection but aren't yet, like Lone Wolf and Cub and shit like that, and Zatoichi and all that other kind of shit. You know, it's just like there is so many movies and so limited money. So it's like when it comes time for me to be like, all right, I want to pick up something new. It's like, you know, I, I gotta really pick and choose carefully. I'm not a rich man. I'm not. I know you're probably thinking like, wow, look at him. He must have like millions of dollars, but I only have millions of cents, but no common sense. Except for the 1987 penny, which is probably the most common penny in circulation. I don't know that for a fact, but it could be. So, all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go watch Lady Snowblood again. I think this will be about the third time I've seen it and everything, and it'll be pretty cool. It's a really solid film. It's very straightforward. It's not a comedic one like how some kung fu movies would be like, you know, this is a revenge story, but it'll have like a little bit of comedy on this because I like watching the old kung fu. And there's a lot. This is very straightforward. It's very serious and it's very good. So I mean, if you're in to the old school, because this came out in '73, the old school Japanese like revenge story, martial arts movie. Just if you're into the genre and you haven't seen these, they actually are very, very good, and you need to watch them. So I am going to go watch this again, and I'll come back and I'll yap at you about stuff about it, like the movie. Okay. You're so silly. Stop. Hammer time. Thank you. All right, back in a bit. Wadata. Lady Snowblood. She's a bitch on revenge. Well, Lady motherfucking Snowblood. Wow. This movie is straight up Grindhouse. Okay? It's not an exploitation, it's not a sexploitation, but this is that ultra violent type fucking revenge story Japanese fucking Grindhouse. This is a fucking Grindhouse flick. I mean, just the blood, just like, it's so fucking bloody. This movie, you look at it, Lady Snowblood, it's like, okay, well, you know, it's, maybe it's the lady part, I don't know, but it kind of has like, maybe this softer vibe. You'd think going into it, it's like, oh, it's probably going to be good, but if you know nothing about it, you don't go in expecting all like the fucking just blood and the fucking hands getting chopped off, body getting chopped in half. There's some like pretty good violence in it, and it's just like, and the music helps with that because I mean, you know, I've watched a lot of like kung fu movies that came out around that time, you know, like, and they got a vibe to them, but they're very Asian. This one has it has a very American feel. I feel like the director, like, and the screenwriter, both of those guys, like the director and the screenwriter and shit, I think that they kind of were maybe watching spaghetti westerns. Like, I got to read the interviews. The interviews definitely going to give away a lot. You know, I should watch those and everything. And it's got a very Western vibe too, just with some of the music. It's like the music doesn't even really go like a lot of soundtracks. If you listen to them from back in that day, they have the very like the more Japanese instruments and more of like the Japanese scales being played and everything else. While this one is very Western, you know, and it has a very like America type feel with a little bit of like the spaghetti Western thrown in there. And yeah, I mean, Tarantino, I mean, it says right here, the first Lady Snowblood was a major inspiration for Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill saga. He basically remade Lady Snowblood, is what he did. You know, he like even more Americanized in a way. It's like, it's weird because his is like very straightforward American, but has these Asian elements, while it's like Lady Snowblood is very straightforward Asian with a lot of like American like stuff thrown in there. But like it's actually like really cool. It's a very good story. It's a very solid script. It's like, I think that's one thing that maybe kind of elevates this and maybe even puts it in a little bit of a cult status, is that it's very solid how it's written, how it's acted. It's very, very good. Like, it's not just your regular run-of-the-mill fucking 70s, like, martial arts, vengeance, sword fight, blood, blah, 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 blah. It's not. It's very, very solidly written. And it's like, what's funny is, like, I like the Kill Bill movies. And it's like, he did a good job with those movies, but this movie is super solid. It is great, and I'm glad that it's like, you know, I'm getting to see it on like Blu-ray, because it's like it can be very stark, but it's a very, like, there's certain elements that are very colorful that they play on, especially the blood and everything. So to see it in high def is pretty fucking cool. But I definitely recommend this shit for anybody who likes like old kung fu movies, old like Japanese, like, just there's not a ton of martial arts. It's more like some sword play, some good fights. It's like a lot of just, it's got a steady flow, and then every once in a while it has these fights, and the fight, it's not like super long extended fights and everything, except for one fight is kind of takes longer in a way. But when it comes to the actual fighting, it's like, it's not drawn out. It's very like, I don't know. Watch it and you'll see. But like, it's very good. I like the first two scenes really set the mood for the whole movie. You know, Lady Snowblood's birth, and then like her first revenge kill, and it's like, all right, you know. And I just love the way it builds and plays, and it was done in '73, but it was definitely a period piece, you know, of like, you know, what was it, like maybe early 20s? I don't know when it's supposed to be. It's got to be like maybe late 1800s, something. I don't know. No, but I think it's early 1900s. But anyway, regardless, it's like, you know, watching how it's like almost how the movie is built. You know, how I was talking about a lot of the American aspects, like especially the soundtrack, how it's done and everything. And especially like, you know, some of the over-the-top blood. I mean, there were some bloody kung fu movies, but this one does it in a very like flashy kind of way. You know how like in the Kill Bill, you know, it's like kind of over-the-top-ish in a way, and it's like more American than like, you know, maybe some blood, but like done more. I don't know, like I don't know how to explain it. More realistic, but I forgot where I was going with that. Oh yeah, and then in the movie, in the end, you know, where it shows how like the encroachment of like, you know, relations between the U.S. and Japan, you know, the Western and the Eastern, kind of like, I don't know, schmoozing and like starting to do the mingling to become like, you know, best friends superpowers or some bullshit, you know, because that's super important, is being powerful. I was thinking about this. Now check this out. This is some trippy shit. Okay? This has nothing to do. I'm going off on a ramble. This is a Pootie ramble. These happen. You know these happen. Okay. We are in a microcosm, thinking and believing that we live in a macrocosm. Because if you look at the very scope of the known universe, the universe we know, and how small and tiny, and in a tiny little, like, just an infinitesimal little spot, it's like, what kind of impression do we want to leave in the future and everything? It's kind of weird. But like, you know, when you toke a little and you're just sitting there and you're like washing your hair in the shower and you're like, Whoa, that's pretty trippy. What can I say? Remember, you're very small and very insignificant. I tell myself that every day, and I tell my penis that every day. Gotta stay true to yourself. But yeah, Lady Snowblood. Like, I really, really dig it. And yeah, like, I'll have to watch the second one. It's pretty cool. The Love Song of Vengeance. It's like it's a very solid sequel. Like the first one is just like magical. It's just very, very, like I said, very well put together. It's very, very, very well put together. And it's a Grindhouse flick. It doesn't come across at first, but the more you watch it, you're like, oh shit, yeah. It actually, like, there's a lot of elements that it's like you could see this playing in a fucking theater alongside, like, you know, Pieces or some other fucking movie. And next week for episode 21, I was gonna do Pootie Tang, but I'm not gonna. I'm kind of saving that one. So for episode 21, the legal drinking age, why not watch a movie about a guy who drinks way too much and does a lot of stupid shit? So I've decided on Run, Ronnie, Run. Oh man, see, this case has seen some better days. Oh man, yeah, I got this a long ass time ago. Run, Ronnie, Run. Dude, this is from Bob Odenkirk and David Cross. This is like a Mr. Show spin-off movie from one of the characters and shit like that, and it's one of my favorite comedies. So I'll talk about that next time. Run, Ronnie, Run. That's gonna be fun. But yeah, Lady Snowblood, I really, really do suggest, just if you want to watch a really, really good Japanese revenge flick that has some like over-the-top blood, but like really solid pacing and like really solid acting and just a script that really, really flows well. I mean, even when there's like the narrator guy who's like reading at certain parts in the chapter 2, and you know, it's a really, really good movie. I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to say. You should definitely watch it, especially you like watch it and you tell me if you see the parallels between it and like a spaghetti western. Like, I'm not talking like if I say Django, I'm not talking about Tarantino's Django. I'm talking about old school Django. I have like Django sets. I mean, Django is a whole western subgenre, which I will get into when I get into some Django movies because I love that shit too. Love spaghetti westerns. This plays like a spaghetti western in a way. Like that's what I'm saying. There's so many elements to it that actually they're like so subtle, but they interlock so fucking well. And it is just a really good, and the ending, oh man, the fucking ending was just like her primal scream, you know, just like her whole life has been revenge and it's come to fruition. And she's just sitting there and she's like shot, and I think, yeah, and she's like stabbed, and she's just like, fuck, you know? It's like she finally finishes her mission and she's just all fuckered up. But it sets up the next one, which is good, but like I said, that first one is the one. But you definitely got to watch the second one too, but I'll do that movie at a later time. So, oh shit, man. And don't be afraid to read subtitles. Don't be a little bitch. It's like, I don't want to read my movies. Shut the fuck up and you watch it in Japanese with the subtitles, because it'll make you feel like you're smarter. You can feel like an intellectual movie watcher. That's the trick I pull on myself. I'm like, I'm a totally cinema guy, because, you know, I watch it in the original language with the subtitles. Yeah, I read my movies. I have a visual book that plays out in front of me with sound. It's great. But yeah, definitely watch this. And yeah, and you know, that's been off the beaten track from the horror shit I've been doing, and I'm going to be doing a comedy next. So yeah, but don't worry, I'll be getting back to horror here soon. And it's going to be some good horror. it's gonna be something that's be like, right on, man, that's pretty cool. He's doing that one. If I don't know that maybe that's reaching too far. Maybe that's thinking too much. But yeah, go watch Lady Snowblood. It's fucking awesome. And yeah, pick up the Blu-ray set. Shit, why not add it to your collection? Not just the Criterion collection, but your collection. Because I did. And I am so happy. Inside, I am bursting full of happiness. I am so fucking happy. Alright, enough of my bullshit. Lady Snowblood, see you next time, motherfuckers and shit and stuff and peoples and animals and trees. Fuck the bushes. Trees, yeah, that's cool, man, yeah.